Hey team, Chris here, hope everyone's well. Thanks for joining us today on YouTube. So as per the last video, I said I wanted to talk about HYROX, my thoughts and my feelings, my strengths and weaknesses on the event itself as it's just gone past and the weekend just gone. So, initially then, what is HYROX? HYROX is a functional fitness event that's held all over the UK at certain periods of the year and all over Europe. So you get places like Vienna, Bilbao in Spain, Barcelona and whatnot. It's effectively an 8-kilometre run broken into 1-kilometre segments with an exercise in between each kilometre. So every kilometre that goes on is becoming progressively more difficult as you're exercising with the exercises in between. The exercise you're going to come up against as you progress then is going to be the ski, 1,000 metres, sled push, sled pull, travelling burpees, 1,000 metre row, farmer's carry, walking lunges with a 20 kilo bag depending on what standard you're at, and then wall balls. The HYROX event is split between men's open, women's open, men's doubles, women's doubles, relay and men's and women's teams, and you've got mixed doubles as well. So despite having teams and relays and whatnot, the workout stays exactly the same. It's just split between either 2 people, 4 people, or an individual doing it. So for me personally then, the one I done was the men's open, and it was effectively just all of those exercises performed on my own. If you're doing the doubles, it just gets split down the middle. You can do it as you see fit. If someone's stronger at one element, they can take control of that. Someone can do another part. For example, for the sled push, if one person's strong at that, someone can take control and do the whole sled push, and someone might do the burpees, for example, or you can just half it down the middle. Completely up to the team. But yeah, as I say, for me, I had to do everything. All the individuals have to do all the exercises themselves, which arguably makes it a bit more difficult because you're doing it all on your own. So HYROX then, when we arrived at the venue, you could tell straight away there was a buzz about the place. The atmosphere was up there, and everyone was excited to get going. And straight away you're in the frame of mind that you're going to be in competition, you're going to be racing, you're going to be challenging. And it was just generally a really good vibe about the place. Music was blasting, everyone was in good spirits, and everyone was motivated to be there. There was nobody there that looked as if they were like, oh my goodness, not this again. Everyone was in good spirits. The event itself was really well organised. I feel like when we arrived, you knew exactly where you had to go, and in particular, once we'd settled into the place, there was no second guessing where I need to be at any certain time. You knew exactly where you had to be, you knew exactly where the exercises were, and you knew that when you were competing, where you had to be to start. That's often the case. You don't actually know where you need to be to get going. You knew, or I knew, that I had to be in the Red Bull tent 10 minutes prior or 8 minutes prior to my start time in order to get an effective start. How I got on then on the event itself, I achieved a time of 1 hour 22, which isn't the best. I was actually quite disappointed when I finished, but as the dust settled, I realised that it was my first ever event. A friend of mine from the elation team, they all done really well actually, the elation guys, but Graham Halliday himself, he deserves a shout out. The guys absolutely nailed it. He, in the men's pro, got a time of 57 minutes, which is unheard of. I think he was a world record holder now, which good on the guy, works hard for it, so can't take that away from anyone. But I personally 1 hour 22, which for my first event, as I say, as the dust settled, I'm actually quite happy with that. It's my first time ever doing it, getting used to where I can push and where I need to pull back. It's an experience where you need to trial and error things and see how you get on. So I know that I was particularly strong in certain areas, and as a result, when it comes to the run, I should be pulling back in certain areas and then maybe pushing where I'm stronger, because I know that I don't need to exert as much effort in those areas. But that's for me to implement come the next event. Personal strengths and weaknesses then for myself, I feel like I went into the event feeling really confident with the travelling burpees, having been on multiple courses with the Royal Marines, and we use exercises like that all the time, but you don't understand that you're actually not as fatigued as what you are in the HYROX event. So in the HYROX event, I was far more fatigued come the travelling burpees than what I would be doing travelling burpees in a Royal Marines setting. So for me, a weakness for me was the travelling burpees. Despite the fact going into the event thinking I'm going to absolutely nail these travelling burpees, I need to work on that. That's something I have to be implementing in my training program. Sled push, I think across the board, everybody I've spoke to struggled with the sled push because the carpet that was underneath the sled, not to make excuses, but the carpet that was underneath the sled was starting to create a little bit of resistance on the sled, which made it feel that much heavier. For me, I'm going to start implementing a lot more sled work into my training so that come the next HYROX event, hopefully if the carpet doesn't play up on us, we should be absolutely nailing that. I went into it, without sounding arrogant or big-headed, I went into it thinking I've got a really strong lower body, I can absolutely nail this sled. Came up against it and it was just like an immovable object, just not moving at all. But we got there, we got it over the line 4 times, so it was a struggle, but we'll leave it there. Strengths then, I feel as if I nailed the farmers carries with the kettlebells, and I nailed the lunges. That's when I made up my time, but it wasn't good enough to get us under that 1 hour 15 mark that I was hoping for. I was aiming for between an hour to an hour 15, came in at an hour 22, so we're about 7 minutes off where we want to be, but I know that come the next event that we sign up for, I know I could potentially push for that hour 15. So yeah, work on points will be travelling burpees and sled pushes. Strengths that I can take away from the event, definitely the farmers carries and definitely the lunges. I think everyone that was there would probably say they could improve in their running because that's somewhere that everyone can always improve upon, and it's somewhere you can easily chip away time. So for me, I'm going to work on more endurance running. I feel like I'm a half decent runner as it is, but as I say, there's always space to improve. Sled push and burpees for me. So upon completion of the event, some of you might be sitting here watching. What happens once you finish? Do you just have to leave, or are you guided where to go? Once you finish your wall balls, you then run over the finish line, and you'll be greeted by the staff that are there. They'll give you your little Velcro patch that you get upon completion of any event, and then you'll be guided to a rest area where you can refuel with bananas or Red Bull or juice or whatever you want, or water. For me, I was just trying to stay alive at that point. I wasn't concerned about what was there. But yeah, they've got it really well set up where you can just chill out before you see your friends and family again, and then you can do what you want. There's loads of entertainment and things. There's music playing, and there's like coffee bars, food stalls and whatnot within. And there's a Puma HYROX stand where you can buy clothing and t-shirts and shorts and that. So yeah, you're not ushered out the venue. You're kind of left to your own devices upon completion of the event. You can stay as long as you want and watch other people compete. For me, I was on at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, so there was like women's singles, I think, at that point, and then you had the pro events going on after that. So yeah, if you wanted to make a day of it, you could easily stay till 8-9 o'clock at night. But yeah, for us, we hung about for about an hour, and then we left and got some food after that. Another thing that they've got going on is as soon as you finish the event, you get the chance to win a Puma vault. So within the Puma vault, you've got things like trainers and some other Puma merchandise. It's quite a nice touch that HYROX and Puma have paired up with and put on. But yeah, you pick a key from a box, you put it in the vault. If it opens, you get everything that's inside the vault. If not, you just ditch the key. Hopefully, someone can pick the winning key. I don't know the person that won it, but they won like trainers, merchandise, supplements, some other bits and bobs. So it's a really good touch from Puma and HYROX. For me, another bonus of the HYROX event was the networking. Up to now, I've always been really reluctant on a personal level to network within the fitness industry, not because I don't want to, but I think there's a level of anxiety that comes with networking, and a lot of people put it off thinking, oh my goodness, stuff that I'm not talking to anyone. But in order to get anywhere in any business, you've got to be able to talk to people, you've got to be able to network. So for me, it was an opportunity that I actually really enjoyed. I grabbed it with both hands, and I must have spoke to about, I'd say, about 10 people or so, some of which I knew before, some of which I'd never spoke to in my life. So it was really nice to get to know some other people, how they were feeling about the event, what kind of training they'd done up to that, and even people who were considering doing the event, but they just wanted to come and get a feel for it beforehand. So it was nice to talk to some people that were there, and get their opinions on what was going on, how they felt the event was set up. So yeah, HYROX, as a whole, I hope that video kind of covered what goes on. It's probably worth saying as well that the HYROX event itself is split into men's open, women's open, and then you've got the pro events. So that the pro events are generally, I think you can sign up to them from the get-go, but if you win an open event, you get invited to compete at the pro level. And then once you compete at the pro level, if you become incredibly quick, like Graham that I was talking about, you then get into the Elite 15, which is the 15 fastest racers from all over the world. So if you get in that, you're pretty much top dog in the HYROX world. So yeah, I hope that answers the question, or not questions, but any queries you might have on HYROX. If you've got any more questions on HYROX, please leave them in the comment box down below. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions, and if I don't know, I'll endeavour to find out any answers for you. Do me a favour, since we're just starting this YouTube channel, like, comment and subscribe if you can. It would do me the world of favours to get this channel off the ground, because I don't want to be just putting out videos there for nobody to see. So yeah, thanks for watching. You can catch us on Instagram at Cultivate Conditioning, and you can catch us on Facebook as well. So yeah, I hope to hear from you all soon, and look forward to the next video.